Hope everybody is doing great. I know I've named the video Coding Parents' Brains, and I'm going to be unpopular among most of the parents. Hear me out. I'm not going to give you theories, I'm going to give you facts. Firstly, I'm not against kids learning coding. If they're interested, let them go ahead and do that. I have no issues with it. And even the Indian government has made it compulsory for kids to learn coding after standard 6th with the NAB changes in 2020. Unfortunately, pandemic happened, the implementation got delayed. Well, with the vaccine now in the picture, let's hope that things will get to normal and schools will start. And once the school starts, automatically kids above 6th standard would have to learn coding. Once the government said that coding would be compulsory after 6th standard, we saw a sudden boom of a lot of companies coming out who are going to teach you coding. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Naturally, when you see an opportunity, you'll have to jump at that. But having said that, during the same period, a big edutech company brought an American coding company at a whooping price. Now, you might be thinking, why am I not taking the name of the company? Well, they have a very bad reputation of deleting all the videos which would be against them. That's the reason I'm not taking names of the company. However, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, or even if you have a television at home, there is no chance that you would not know about the company. You have an ad playing every second minute. In fact, you would have seen these ads play every time you click on a YouTube video. Well, unfortunately, not mine because my channel is not monetized yet. For that, I would have to hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe. If I'm saying that I don't have a problem with kids learning coding, and I'm also saying that I don't have a problem with so many companies coming up, what is the problem I have? The problem I have is with their marketing strategy. Firstly, let me tell you, the teachers are paid less and the marketing team is paid more. And any businessman would know that you would pay a marketing team more when you are not sure about your product or your product's quality is not good enough. Secondly, the marketing team has got full rights to go ahead and say anything they want as long as they're selling the product. So, what they also do is target the ladies in the house and start to play with their emotions. They'll tell you that one kid from somewhere has gone ahead and learned coding, he's got a job with Google, he's getting paid 1.2 crores, 1.5 crores. In fact, they have ads playing wherein they're saying that some Gupta is working with Google. He's just 9 years old and his salary is 1.5 crores or 1.2 crores. In another ad, the same Gupta is 12 years old and in another is 13 years old. He's growing fast, just like the company, isn't it? Well, it's also come to notice that out of 15 ads that they published, about 4 ads were taken off air after an order from the court saying that you are propagating false news. And you'll be surprised to know there is no such kid. It's a fictional character. In fact, 2, 3 other names that they use in their ads. Please go ahead and do a Google check. There's nobody with that name working for Google. Secondly, they also tell you that once they get into coding, they're going to develop app in so many days, they're going to do this in so many days, they're going to do that in so many days. Have you even done your cross checks? Do you know that 90% of the course that they're offering is actually available for free on the internet? If you go to YouTube or other platforms, there are so many tutors who teach coding for free. And in fact, some of their curriculum is much better than what these guys are offering. Secondly, they hire big movie stars. We need to understand they're just paid actors. Just like you go to work and you get paid your salary, it's the same thing that these movie stars get paid for to do their work. Can you point out one movie star who has enrolled his kid in this particular course? He would not, because he knows, just like our generation made this particular movie star a superstar, our kids' generation will make their kids a superstar. So their career path is already set. You might say that everybody does that, everybody hires a movie star. Yes, they do. In fact, I know a person who's been using Fair and Lovely for last 30 years, but his color's not even changed a single shade. That's all right. But the problem I have is with the target audience. The target audience for these products is kids under 10, under 16, which is very dangerous. And in fact, they're creating employees right now and they're not creating entrepreneurs. Tell me, as parents, would you want your kids to be the same as we are, sitting in front of a laptop and working for 10 hours like robots? Or would you want your kid to be someone who's creative, who's done something on his own, and who's achieved something in his life? Thirdly, there is a new language coming up in computers every 10 years. So by the time your son or your daughter has learned coding and would start working, the language that they're learning coding in will be already yesterday's news. Please have a check on how many languages have been introduced in computers in last 30, 40 years. There's Java, there's C++, there are so many. So every 10 years, there's a change in the way the computer is looked at or the way people work on the computer. The other issue I have is that age of the kid does not matter. In fact, my son is 4.5 years old. He can't even wash his ass on his own. He would need help from me or my wife. And they say that this is the right age for him to get in. In fact, they say he's too late. There are kids in LKG who are getting into these courses, and your son is about to get to UKG, so he's already late. Well, the basic requirement to learn coding is a little bit of knowledge of maths. It's a little complicated maths, not too much. Anybody with average IQ can understand. Yes, but then a kid who's 4.5 years, who can't even say 1 to 100 in two different languages as if now, is at the right age to learn coding. I mean, how far can the marketing team go to make sure that their product is sold? Well, once the online courses started, when coronavirus hit us, every single parent had a problem with the screen time that the kids were spending during the online classes. Now, don't you have problems with the screen time when they're learning coding? Why these double standards? Well, when we were studying, engineering was the course that everybody had to take up. It was drilled into the parents' head that it's either engineering or doctor, and most of the families chose engineering because when you become a doctor, you had to set up a clinic and you had to do a lot of other stuff, which would mean that there's a lot of money involved. So most of the kids would go into engineering. But do you know that it's only 7% of the kids who have passed out in their engineering courses have got jobs in their own field? In fact, I know mechanical engineers who are working in IT companies. The costliest course that these guys sell is almost 1 lakh, which is 3 times my son's entire school fees. And this is freely available online. They provide you a tab which is not connected to the internet or Google where they can search for answers. And then they tell you that we are going to create geniuses. Tell me something. For you to complete the course in coding in this company, it would take 2.5, 3 years. The company is not even 2 years old. So you don't even have a proof for your concept. How are you telling us that the kids who have learned coding from you are working for another company wherein there's not even a single kid who would have completed the course because your company itself is not that old? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying coding is bad. Coding does improve creativity, but so does painting, so does actively being involved in sports, storytelling. In fact, even learning a musical instrument or learning music would enhance a kid's creative brain. Now, as parents, I know we have certain responsibilities towards our kids, but those responsibilities is to mentor them and guide them and not make them a source to satisfy our insecurities or to fulfill our failures. Please understand, they are not your Six Sigma project or a mutual fund which will mature later and make sure that your old age is going to be better. In the end, I just want to say that at least 80% of them who are watching the video would have at least thought once in their life that if my parent would have allowed me to follow my dreams or would have allowed me to follow my passion, maybe I would have had a better life or at least a different life. Please don't be that parent for your kid. Be there for them. Be a friend who's going to stand by them when they falter and fall, but also tell them that the only way to go is forward and there's no use looking back. Please don't make them scapegoats to satisfy your insecurities or your failures. Hope this video will help you in making a better decision for your kids' future. Hope to see you guys in my next video. Ciao till then.